crazy in this studio. I'm loving it. It's like when Pat McGee and Lincoln Helt were all here in the studio. We got Stations, we got Dan Mitre, and we got Jack, and it's like I am Jack McFadden. McFadden. And I think what you guys are doing is so special, man. And like you guys have started a nonprofit organization called Chalk and Oil, and you guys also have a record label behind it, which is so groovy and so dope. And could you guys kind of speak more upon that? And
Yeah. So Jack and I, we go way back. We started playing punk rock, I want to say like 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
And we've always had a love for the community here in Southern California.
Of course.
But most importantly, the punk rock community in whole. And what we loved about it was just the ethos behind it. The unification of whatever you are, whatever you identify, whatever you believe in. As long as it's done with love, we want to be a part of it. And that's what Chalk and Oil is based on. So yes, we started a nonprofit that is very much for the rights of LGBTQ plus community, homelessness here in Los Angeles, in the greater area of Los Angeles, anti-domestic violence, animal rights. There's a lot of things that we believe in, but we feel that we're creating a platform for people to speak out and to be comfortable in and have a family that accepts them for who they are, all under the wrapper of punk rock.
I love it. This is one reason why I love punk rock.
What better genre to speak upon it,
Of course, yeah. And also, we want to reach out to every community out there, but we also want people to reach out to us. If you're looking for a platform, then, contact us. Like, look for us. Like, it's going to be give and take, ebb and flow.
And can I ask you, like, where did the Chalk and Oil name come about?
Chalk and Oil is kind of like we thought of it as it's a way to make paint, basically, Mm-hmm. So chalk and oil is the two dynamics to make paint. So if you're starting an artistic project, you have to start with the basics, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're just doing that, We're giving the basics element to it, and then we're just going to expand from there.
I think
so
that's
what better way to
great.
start than chalk and oil?
No, I really do like that because it's like that old term, right? Life is like a gallery, and so we got so many great things happening. It's like, why not make that picture great? Why not make that image so perfect? And I think what you guys are doing is so cool. And like, can you guys speak about a little bit more about what you guys do for the LGBTQ plus community and how us listeners out there who listen on the radio can get involved?
Yeah, so we're just starting right now. We're at the foundational stages, but this is something that Jack and I have a passion for, and it's been in our hearts for a long time. And we're finally just getting it out, So we're getting more involved in the scenes here. We're going out to primarily shows at skate shops and small garage shows. And what we're seeing there is a very diverse and rich community of people just showing up and, like I said, being who they are. Like, tear down these gender norms, tear down the preconceptions of who people are, and let's all have a good time.
Yes.
And so, yes, we are very much in the foundational stage. We are still registering the nonprofit, but we're getting this off the ground. And what we want to do is anybody who wants to be a part of this, no matter if you have 5 minutes, if you have 3 hours, if you have a radio station out there, let's get involved. You can be a part of this. If you have any passion behind it, if you have any volunteering heart, like we want to work with you. So Chalk and Oil is getting off the ground, and one of the first bands that we have on the label is our own band. So it's a little kind of a self-promotion.
What a great plug! And when I heard you guys reminded me of like 4 Years Strong. Like, it's dope, and I was like, I was kind of getting bummed that like Warped Tour's gone, and now it's like $75 to $125 because you guys would have been perfect for the lineup, and you guys would have been on the headliners. But we keep talking about stations. Why don't we just play a song from you guys? And you guys got a song called Blinders, which is incredible. I love it a lot. And can you guys speak about a little bit about what that song's about?
Blinders is just kind of a self-retrospective kind of song. It's about everything, past relationships, and learning from those relationships and taking away something positive from everything.
Yeah.
But also, recognizing the negative aspects of, what you went through, and then just kind of applying that to everything you do afterwards.
That's a great point, and you're a better person than I am. I'm usually like a regular, like, no.
We all like to dive into our old self-indulgence, but no, this is a song about learning,
Hey, I love it. So, listeners out there listening to the Chris Collins Show live on 22 West Radio, this one's Stations. This is called Blinders.
with my uncertain future. I still know things I cannot learn. I cannot survive, I'm lost alone. I need much more than only memories of tragedy. Time can take its time, passing on by. I've had enough of all the sympathy. It's killing me. I gotta find a reason. I'm tired and I feel out of season. We struggle just to find the meaning of stories that we keep repeating. I cannot survive, I'm lost alone. I need much more than only memories of tragedy. Time can take its time, passing on by. I've had enough of all the sympathy. It's killing me. I just run my place in line, no way to tell what's left behind. Sick of what I feel inside. There's no take that to question why. I know there's more to figure out. There's still things we've not talked about. Carry on, get through it down. There's not something to live without. I cannot survive, I'm lost alone. I need much more than only memories of tragedy. Time can take its time, passing on by. I've had enough of all the sympathy. It's killing me.
Oh, Marissa.
I'm a mess.
Oh, darling.
I'm a mess. I need sleep.
Darling. No, you gotta be up. We're alive. But that was Stations. That was Blinders. And you know what is so incredible about this? Because I'm a huge musician myself. I play in a little punk band, but not nearly on the same levels as you guys. But you guys have totally inspired me because I had no idea about this until we started listening to the song live here in the studio. And you guys were telling me all these drum tracks were recorded off GarageBand?
Yeah, that's all programmed from GarageBand. Yeah.
That sounds
That's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah. So that was a complete demo track, and first of all, we're honored to be able to debut that here on the Chris Collins
Yeah.
Show. This
And
is
thank you.
monumental for us.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
for us
You know?
too. We always love new, never heard before in any of the sound waves of the universe, atmosphere, moon. Okay, sorry, I'm a space freak.
you're still
new
stuck in
music.
Mars.
I love it.
Well, you as a musician, and you know,
Yeah.
and Samson's an actor, Noah's an actor. You know, we're wearing our emotions and our heart on our sleeves. So when we're coming, we're like, let's see what they think about this. You know, but no,
I
we're
love it.
stoked.
No, I mean, it gravitates, and I know you guys play some really cool gigs. I mean, you guys have all hit the whole Sunset Boulevard, and I mean, as a musician, I mean, I haven't been able to hit as many venues as you guys have, but is there any, like, iconic kind of place that you guys have played where you guys are just so proud of?
Yeah, so we haven't started playing live with Stations yet. We're
Okay.
still a punk rock duo.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously we have quote unquote fake drums.
Yeah.
But in the past, in a band that we were in called Our Desperation, we played all over Sunset Boulevard. Roxy was a big Key Club before they shut
Club.
down.
Oh yeah, I like Key Club.
We got 86. That is our badge of pride there.
We got 86 from the Key
we got
Club.
86.
How? That's the story. Tell me the story.
That's for another show. That's for another show.
A late night show.
But one of the cool ones was Maloof Money Cup, and Jack can speak a little bit of that.
Yeah, Dan actually lined up this show. Maloof Money Cup is, of course, a skate competition. Wonderful skate competition. And all of, we grew up skateboarding. Los Angeles skateboarding, it's just Thrasher Magazine, big part of our lives. It's like, it was like our Bible in a way, in a way.
I was going to say, because it's so cool that you guys are implementing with the whole punk and skate scene, because I'm starting to see that more than ever. One of my favorite punk bands of all time is Pennywise, and I know they're about to go play with Rancid at that same venue where they're teaming up with Nitro Circus, and then they're also having a street skateboarding competition. I think I want to bring that back. Like, where was that? Like, Warped Tour used to be on that level, but it's nowhere near close.
A long time ago, my first Warped Tour was 1998.
Gosh,
right?
I was
and
93,
that's when skateboarding was still a big part of it. They had a vert ramp, they had a street section, it was a really big part of it. Unfortunately, that fell out over the years. I don't think they haven't had skateboarding there since 2000, maybe.
Long time.
Yeah.
So, it's been a very, very long time. But, growing up playing punk rock, you played skate shops, you played wherever you could, a kung fu studio sometimes, like somewhere crazy, wherever you could rent the, laser tag
Pizza
place,
places.
Yes, exactly. But we had the opportunity to play places like the Whiskey and the Troubadour and, the Roxy and all that whole Sunset drag there. And what was our first show? Was at the Viper Room? Or no. What's that? What was that club? Not the Viper Room. The one right next to the Whiskey.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, we're all going to blank
We're all
out.
having a brain fart.
We said Roxy already.
Not so great, but
Did you guys ever play in Corona at the Showcase back in the 90s? Okay, that was
I've never played there, but I've been to
rock.
many shows there. I saw Gorilla Biscuits
Oh,
there.
okay,
That was an amazing
My
show
first
there.
punk band I saw at Showcase.
Yes, Sick of It All at that same place.
I like
Sick
Sick of It All. They're really great.
and they're coming back too, which is dope. But you know what? You guys were touching upon me in the over the phone yesterday, which I thought was, I think it's kind of true about the punk community. It's like, as much as I feel like we're the most progressed at times, I feel like we're the most vocal when it comes to our lyrical work, I still sometimes think we have a little bit more work to do. And I know you guys kind of touched upon it a little bit with the LGBTQ plus community. So could you guys kind of speak upon that a little bit more?
Yeah, so that's a great segue, actually. So obviously, punk rock, skateboarding is all youth culture, right?
Right.
And that's where youth these days they're impressionable, and we need to educate them that, this is the norm. We need to be accepting of all these communities. But what I love about Shock and Oil, besides our personal, music interest in the label itself, a label is just the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, and Shock and Oil is all about creating that platform for people who don't have a voice or have a minor voice, or they're in a transitional state. They're still trying to figure out their head. And that's obviously in the LGBTQ plus community. It's important for people like Jack and I to open up some of the work that we've done in our past with all the networks that we have throughout all the venues in LA to start benefit shows. Whether we're going to play or not, we want that platform for bands who believe in the same ethical morals as we do, preaching the same sort of messages that we believe in, and raise money. Collecting donations, whether we're selling art, we're selling our own vinyls and LPs, merchandise, and taking all that money and putting it right back into LGBTQ plus organizations, those that are pushing that forefront and innovating in those spaces. And then obviously extending over to animal rights. And we were kind of talking about homelessness a little bit last night.
Yeah.
I hate that that's still a thing here.
Right.
And
getting worse.
It is getting worse.
We were talking on the phone, and I would say that one thing that I just thought was crazy, we'll touch upon it after, but I really want to make sure I play your guys' other brand new song, Conundrum, which is, could you guys speak upon that real quick?
Yeah, here you go, Jack.
There you go, Jack.
Also, just a song about reflection again, but this time kind of helping somebody else out, not really a song about talking about myself. It's talking about other people that are going through hard times and turning that negative attitude into a positive. When you think that everybody's really down on you and you think that everybody's talking about you, you know, it's really not that. It's not that big.
True.
You know, there's a lot inside of you that's bigger than that, and you can turn it to a positive very quickly. And I just want to remind everybody to support people that are going through hard times, you know, and just really, this is kind of a song about turning around, you know.
I love it. And let's hear it right now. This is Stations. This song is called Conundrum. You're hearing it for the first time ever on the Chris College Show.
You put a lot of energy. You got an image of an epitaph in every ring. It's got a picture of a place you don't want to leave. I'm on a mission to destroy what's left of me. My God, my girl, you're killing it. I know these days you feel like you're not getting it. You feel an earthquake, so lift up your head. I support it, just like I did back then. You're trying to relive a memory. There's still so much of the world that you gotta say. I let my head on your breast to see you breathe. You can be the hero if you want to say. I will let you be the victim of this gang of lightning. And there's always gonna be a piece of your heart that stays with me. When I build it, you'll support it. If I build it, you'll support it.
So that was Stations. That's Conundrum. And if you guys want to know more about them and you want to follow them all over social media, you guys got to check them out. Dan Mitre, he's on Instagram at Dan Mitre. And Jack McFadden, he's on at Jack86FTP. And Dan's also on Twitter at Dan_Mitre. So, guys, I just want to remind all the listeners out there that you are listening to The Chris Collins Show. And we got one more segment, so stick around. So I always like to end the show off on a positive note because that's just what life needs. We need more of it. You know, you go on channels 2 through 11, there's just so much negativity 24/7. So this segment is special to me. It's what's good. It's how I always start off the show because I always want to remind people out there that there's so much better in life. And if you're feeling down, pick yourself up, okay? Even if it's like playing video games, whether it's watching your favorite show, Narcos, I don't know, whatever gets your drive going, do your thing, okay? And one of the stories, I just wanted to highlight upon this because this guy was kind of a role model for me, and I would honestly say that even going into Pumpkin, John Singleton, you know, he ended up passing away at
Way too young.
Way too young. And he was actually the youngest and first American black director at 23 years old to be nominated to get an Oscar. And the reason why I kind of resonate with him is because when I saw Boys in the Hood, you know, basically it was like a film in 1991 where I thought it was like a film that really kind of showed the black complexities of that community in a raw detail. You know, nothing sugar-coated. He really showed, you know, a lot about that community, about the hood he always quotes, but he doesn't want it to be that kind of thing. He always wanted to highlight the gentrifications that's always happening in those kind of communities. And I think one of the coolest thing about him was he also brought, you know, Ice Cube into his acting stardom. We also got people like Nia Young, you know, Cuba Gooding Jr. was also in it. So, I mean, Marissa, even for yourself, I mean, was Boys in the Hood something that you always resonated with?
Oh,
being
yeah.
an actress?
I mean, I remember when that first came out, blew my mind because it really was like, it wasn't just like, okay, you're glorifying the hood or any of that stuff. This was the story that is actually happening and not necessarily glorifying it, but all opening up that conversation. Opening up the conversation, you know, because I come from an upper white middle class family in the IE. You know what I mean? I didn't drive through Compton or any of that area. I didn't know what that was until I left home at 15 and went, you know, on the streets. And then I was like, oh my gosh, wow, there's poverty. You know, I came from an area that didn't have really poverty, you know, and then seeing that, and it's all of his movies. I mean, he's iconic.
I think it's a good point because I especially think with a director like John Singleton, he's really allowed us to have this kind of outlook where we can express our point of views and not feel like we have to cater it to some kind of fashion, because Singleton's always been a preacher about, you know, really being like, ever since I did this film at 23 and I got some of the praise that I got for my very first film as a feature film, he just realized it's like, I'm never going to be happy if I don't make the films that I want to create. And that's sort of how I felt, and I feel like I know with you guys as an actors and, you know, as you guys being in a band, it's like you guys do what you love. So did any of you guys seen Boys in the Hood?
Of course.
You haven't seen Boys in the Hood? No,
Come on,
you need to do
Noah.
some homework.
If it means anything, I live in South Central. So.
All right. It's not good enough.
Boys in the
Not
Hood.
good enough. Are you a
haven't
Z
seen it.
generation? You're a Z generation, aren't you?
I'm 98, so whatever that
You're a
means.
Z.
I-
Well, you're like the
No,
you're
it's
a baby.
2000
He's a
and up.
cusp.
You're a cusper.
He's on
You're
the
a
cusp.
cusper.
All right.
You've been sheltered. You are non-cultured. Okay, so
That's usually what she tells me, so it makes me feel a little bit better. But
I mean, it's not false. So.
get cultured. Go rent Boys in the Hood. You will love it.
I'll watch
Honestly,
it.
it really is a masterpiece.
It really
Absolutely
is, and I
is.
love
one of the most emotional scenes that you'll ever see in a movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Takes place in that. And one of the best
yeah.
characters, I think, Ricky's character.
Yes.
Being a young father, aspirations of football in the future, you know, and just really having to do what you have to do in that community just to see a future for yourself and your family, and just the way that it can possibly go south, you know,
Yeah.
and how it ends up. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
No spoilers. Don't be that. Don't be that guy.
Don't spoil the Boys in the Hood hashtag. You know, don't spoil the end games either. All right.
Yeah, please.
But hey, guys, I'm just so stoked that you guys even came into the studio. So I want to thank today's guests, Noah Toth and Samson Klink from the short film Pumpkin, which is my directorial debut, and Dan Mitre and Jack McFadden from the band Station for being on the show. And also check out pumpkinfilm.us for more information about the film, and follow Noah on Instagram at Noah_Toth, and on Facebook, Noah Toth. And you can also follow Samson on Facebook at Samson Klink. And you know, you guys also got to follow Stations, but they're going to be dropping an Instagram soon and all that Facebook and Twitter and all that cool jazz. But if you want to go and follow these musicians, you can follow Jan and Dak on social media, with Dan on Instagram at Dan Mitre and Jack at Jack86FTP. And I also want to say, if you guys want to come out to the premiere, we're having it at Cal State Los Angeles in the Student Union. It's going to be on May 9th. It's on a Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. So if you want to check out the premiere and see the Q&A
6
and
o'clock,
much
free
more.
food.
That's true. That's why
Throw it out there.
And that's the reception. And for all the listeners out there, I just want to remind you, if you like what you're listening to, you can go to thechriscollinsshow.com and you can become a member today. So be sure to tune into the Chris Collins Show live on 22 West Radio. That is 88.1 FM HD3.
Friday at 10 a.m. every Friday.
Every Friday. Peace.
Ciao, Bellas.
What's good, listeners? I'm the host of the Chris Collins Show, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button below and check us out at thechriscollinsshow.com. Peace.